into this competition. Being the defending champion, it's a little bit of a different experience that I'm not used to all that much, and it's a little bit different type of pressure. But yeah, I'm just happy that I was able to get the job done and be able to come out on top.
Let's get one question from you, Armando. Do you feel any disappointment because of the world record? It was few millimeters maybe.
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty okay. Today was a competition, and that was the way everything was set up. These guys, they just jumped too well.
Yeah.
They jumped too well, and they pushed me really hard, and I had to take some jumps today. And you know, jumping that 95, 6, 605, 610. I think naturally you're just not going to be as sharp as you may need to be after that to be able to do anything too crazy. But yeah, I mean, today I think it was the way everything set up and the way these guys jumped. It was just a competition.
Thank you. The lady in the blue. Because
Armando, you are still 23, but you have everything in your event. Are you ready to try something different? Not the pole vault?
Yeah, maybe. I think I might just start doing like long jump or something. No, but I mean, but these guys are young too, and all these guys sitting next to me are young. So I know that for the next coming years, I'm gonna have some really good competition. I have some guys that are gonna be pushing the heck out of me. So for me, I'm really excited for the future.
Damn, I'm the oldest one here, huh?
Maybe. How old are you?
I'm 28 now. This
Damn.
year. Yeah, I'm the oldest one here. Damn. Damn, we're false.
Brian with Team USA. Mondo, congratulations again. Well done, of course. Obviously, besides this uncanny ability to jump high, you're also very consistent. 6 consecutive makes tonight, obviously impressive. What's the key to also being so consistent? And following up on that, if you don't mind, 2 consecutive World Cup titles. A guy named Sergey had 6 in a row. Is that something you can chase in the future?
I guess that would be nice, but I think I have a few more to go, it sounds like, before I get to 6. So I'll probably worry about 3, and then after 3, maybe 4, before I start getting a little bit too far ahead of myself. But I don't know. As far as the consistency, I think a lot of that is also just having a really good team around you, and making the right decisions, because pole vault's it's a very technical event, and there's a lot of game time decision making that people don't really realize, that when you're on the track, to make sure you're on the right pole, right run, right grip, right freaking gun out, and but yeah, all these little things that really add up to those crucial makes. And so you know, I know that my father, he's always, he knows me better than probably I know myself, especially my jump, and I know that more times than not, we're going to make the right decisions on what to do.
you have a question from
First, I just want to say congratulations to all of you. This question that I have is for Mondo. So the LSU track and field Twitter page absolutely loves you. I feel like every time you, Sha'Carri, or someone else from LSU steps on the track, like there's always a viral tweet about you guys. So I just want you to talk a little bit about like how awesome it is being out here with so many other LSU Tigers that are not only just competing, but competing to the highest level just like you.
Well, we love LSU. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty surreal thing, actually, because you know, you look at somebody like Sha'Carri, you look at Javon, who was my roommate in college, who just got his first global medal with the silver in the high jump, and
don't forget about Vernon.
And Vernon, of course. But I was going to get to that point because he wasn't in college when we were in college. He was in college with my brother, actually. So yeah, I mean, just. It's crazy to think about where we are now, especially since it felt like it was just yesterday where we were just freshmen, just cutting up at Tigerland and just being stupid and just having all these crazy, fun and immature memories together. And now we're here on the world stage and doing what we're doing. It's unbelievable. That's why you go to LSU, because you want to surround yourself with greatness, and you know, that's what we show that we have.
Before we move on, any question to the silver?
Yes.
Okay.
A question actually to the silver and bronze medalists. So Armand brings big popularity, it becomes a main event, maybe frustrating also, it's a difficult one to win. What are your feelings about being in the pole vault in this era?
Yeah, you bet. Are you ever going to let us move on? Or it's honestly, I just think it's awesome to be a part of this era in pole vaulting. Like, if Mondo's out there jumping in close to 620 most meets, jumping over 6 meters every meet, and we're just there soaking up the atmosphere, getting some of the like exposure that he brings to the sport through us as well. It's honestly just a privilege to be out there with the guy because he's pushing the sport to a place that it's never been before. And yeah, I'm sure EJ and Chris both agree that we wouldn't want to be in any other era of pole vaulting other than maybe Budget Zero. We probably could have been here if he's gone. Nah, it's honestly the best time in men's pole vault that's ever been, and it's just a privilege to share it with these boys.
What are your thoughts, EJ? Christopher?
Well, it's a bit good and bad. Like, Mondo existing is a bit good and bad. I mean, it's good if we're being pushed to do a little bit more than what I think we would do without Mondo. At the same time, it's tough to jump 6 meters and take second, you know? Like, I think that's the first time in the history of this.
Has to be.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're happy.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints. I mean, you know, one of the biggest jobs, of course, that we come in here, we have to try and jump high, but that's kind of our main job. But one of the more underlying things that every track and field athlete has is to try to grow the popularity of the sport. And specifically for the United States, and you know, Mondo growing up in Louisiana, he can kind of attest to this. Track and field is not big or popular in the United States. We have football, basketball, and major league events for every single sport. And track and field is not one of them. So to be able to have Mondo give that exposure on the American side and the Swedish side, and we've got every continent covered from Asia to Australia to the Americas, you know, because we have all these great athletes. It's doing more than, you know, it's cool to see Mondo jump high, but it's cool to see the exposure he has on the world and that we have on the world for track and field as a whole. So our job is to jump well and you know, do that thing, but at the same time we have to make sure that people know what track and field is.
Next question. Here, the first row.
Question to Mondo. The path to any gold medal is never easy, but what's been the most difficult part for you this year to getting back on the top of that podium?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's just jumping really well, and I think that you know, tonight I would imagine has to be the best World Championship final that there's ever been in pole vaulting, and it was just at that kind of level tonight. And yeah, I think it's basically just that, and you know, these kind of bars like 605 and everything above that, which I had to make to be able to beat EJ here, it's no joke. It's no joke, and I know for me that if I go there and I connect with a good jump that night, then I definitely have a good chance to be able to make it. But it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy. It doesn't always work out that way. So for me, just trying to go out there and jump as high as I possibly can, and I know these guys are going to push me really hard. So yeah, I don't know.
And the year as a whole, like, what's been the hardest part?
I don't know if the year's necessarily been so unbelievably hard in that way. I mean, it's just a year. I don't know, we had the World Championship this year, so it's one of these years where you're trying to build up to this moment, and you know, I wanted to make sure that I can save a really good performance for here, because I knew that that's what it was going to take to beat these guys. So yeah, I mean, I guess the year's still in progress, but thus far I think it's been really nice.
Okay.
My name is Ming. I'm with China Media Group. My question is to EJ. I know you're half Chinese, half Filipino. Have you ever thought of representing China someday?
Oh.